Most business owners spend years dealing with the same operational problems, and I'm talking about the same miscommunications, same bottlenecks, and the same issues that happen when you try to grow your business. But it doesn't have to be that way. So in this video, I'm going to give you 5 fixes that you can implement tomorrow and see the effect of them in the next few weeks. If you're new here, my name is Vahab. I'm a former COO and a business advisor at Consilium Dynamics, and I'm also the author of the book, The Rubicon Leader. On this channel, I talk about business operations, leadership, and sometimes personal development. So if you like content like this, stick around and subscribe to the channel. Okay, the first fix is to document your key processes. And I'm talking about only critical processes from different departments and functions. You don't need to document every process in your business, but you need to document the key ones. Let's say that tomorrow one of your key employees who's doing everything leaves the job. What is going to happen to that function in your business? Are you going to panic? Are you going to lose clients? Your deliveries are going to get stalled? So what's going to happen next? If you document your key processes in your business and the most critical ones, then when something goes wrong and one of your employees leave the job, then you know that exactly what are the steps. But that's not all about that. When you document the process and when you write it down, you normally realize that multiple functions in your business are doing the same job. And sometimes these functions are overlapping with each other. So there are few steps that you can remove from each process and optimize that process. If you don't document the process, you don't get to understand the full flow of the work. And because of that, you will have more inefficiencies. But documenting the process is going to help you to understand the step by step of the process that is happening. And also, if somebody leaves the job or you hire a new person and you want to train them, you have a document that they can use as a guide. Fix number 2 is to define who owns what exactly, and it should be in a writing. The second fix is all about accountability clarity, and because every function in your business need to have a single owner, one person who is responsible for the outcome of certain jobs. That sounds very simple, but in practice, a lot of businesses are full of gray zones. And because of that, decisions are passed around. And sometimes some people need to make a decision and implement a function in the business, but they need to get permission from 3 or 4 different people and they need to sign them off. And because of that, the process is going to get delayed. But if you clarify who owns what and who is responsible for this function, then you can avoid all the extra bureaucracy and steps and avoid all of them. This fix does 2 things for you. First, it eliminates "I thought you were handling it" problem. And the secondly, if you have a clean line of accountability when something goes wrong, you know that exactly what fix should be done and who is the responsible for it. One thing I need to mention over here is that accountability without authority is punishment. And if you are going to make someone responsible for an outcome, you need to make sure that they also have the authority to influence it and make decisions. Otherwise, you are just setting them up to fail. If you are realizing as you're watching this video that your business doesn't have clean accountability structure, that's one of the things that I work with my clients. It's usually where most of the problems are hiding as well, and we fix them together. And if you want to find out more about this, then the link is in the description. You can book a free call with me. Fix number 3 is to build a simple escalation protocol. This fix is one of those fixes that if you implement them, you immediately gonna get back your time. So let me answer this question. What is an escalation protocol? It's a simple set of rules that tells your team when to handle something themselves, when to flag it, and when to bring it to you. Most businesses don't have this one, which means every decision, big or small, eventually finds its way to the owner. And here is a simple version that works for most businesses. Level 1 is the team member handles it within their own scope. There is no need to flag it or inform anyone. Level 2 is they handle it but send a brief update so you as an owner are informed. Level 3 is that they flag it before acting because it's outside their scope or above a certain cost or risk threshold. And level 4, they come to you immediately because this is a genuine emergency. A key is that to define what goes on each level specifically. We are talking about actual thresholds, dollar amounts, type of decisions, client situations that require maybe escalation. When your team knows exactly when to act and when to ask, two things happen. They become more confident and more capable, and you stop spending half your day answering questions that shouldn't require you to answer in the first place. And that's micromanagement in reverse. That's operational design. Fix number 4 is to set meaningful KPIs at the operational level. This fix is all about measurement. And I'm not talking about revenue. Revenue is not an operational metric. Profit is not an operational metric. Those are outcomes. What you need are leading indicators, the numbers that tell you whether your operations are doing fine before revenue starts to show it or not. And depending on your business, these things might be things like average response time to client request, error rate, onboarding completion time, or the number of issues that escalated to you per week. You can easily pick 3 to 5 operational metrics that are specific to how you run your business and assign an owner to each one. You need to review them weekly as well, not monthly, because then issues happen, you cannot fix them as quickly as possible. You need to measure them weekly and fix the problem immediately. And here's why this is very important, because when you have operational metrics, performance conversations change completely. Instead of saying that, okay, I feel something is off, you have data and you can prove it. And nobody can argue with logic and numbers. And all those hard conversations that normally becomes emotional and defensive, you can avoid them by showing the actual numbers based on the performance and metrics. Because at the end of the day, you cannot manage what you cannot measure. Fix number 5 is to create a playbook for your most common problems. This is one of those fixes that so many businesses, and I can argue 99% of businesses, don't have. You need to have a playbook for when things go wrong. Normally, how businesses work is to onboard things that are positive, like how to onboard a client, how everything goes smoothly and right, but they don't have a playbook for when things go wrong. But the real operational cost isn't in normal and happy conditions. It's in the exception. Let's say the client who escalates, the system outage, the key person who's suddenly unavailable, or the supplier who misses a deadline. Those are the moments that consume a lot of energy and time and money. And all of these things happen in every business repeatedly. So what is a playbook? A playbook is just a pre-thought out response to predictable problems. Look at last 10 times something went wrong in your business. And I'm pretty sure at least 6 of them were variations of the same 3 or 4 problems. And those are your playbooks. For each of them, you need to know what happened, what the immediate response should be, who owns the resolution, and how can we avoid this problem from happening ever again. And that's it. You can just create a 1 or 2 pages playbook for that specific issue for when things go wrong. And when your team has a playbook, then problems stop being emergencies all the time. They become processes, and that shift from reactive to structured is the most noticeable change that your business can make. That's all. These are 5 fixes. They're not complicated. They're not expensive. You don't need fancy software to implement them. You can just write them down, or you can talk to your favorite AI like ChatGPT or Claude. Talk to them and tell them that these are my stuff that I want to build. These are the fixes that I need. And they can just list everything for you. And once you have the list, then you can play around with it and edit it as much as you want. But if you don't know how to implement these fixes in your business right now, and you need a second opinion and a trusted advisor like this guy right over here to help you find those bottlenecks and give you fixes, then you can always book a free call with me and I'll be glad to help you out. And also, if you got value out of this video, please gently hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I have another video on the full operational framework that you can watch right over here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.